Welcome to Judgment Call Reddit's Moral Maze, your go-to destination within the Reddit Roundup for unraveling the most compelling Am I the A-hole stories. Join us as we navigate the twists and turns of Reddit's moral dilemmas and weigh in with your verdict.
Am I the asshole for leaving for the weekend after my wife agreed to host Easter at our house without consulting me? My wife and I have been married for 12 years and have 3 kids, 11, 8, and 6. We live reasonably close to family on both our sides. Our house isn't huge by any means, but it's big enough for our family. However, no one else on my wife's side of the family lives in a house. Her siblings all either rent homes with roommates or live in apartments. Her parents downsized into a smaller townhome about 5 years ago. As a result, anytime her family wants to get together for a holiday or special occasion, we are the ones who end up hosting. It's not even a discussion with her family anymore. Everyone just assumes that we are going to be the ones who host. We at least rotate major holidays between my family and hers. But my siblings and parents can also host gatherings, so hosting duties are spread out amongst all of us. But every Thanksgiving, Xmas, 4th of July, Easter, etc. that we spend with her family, we host, and her family are not the best guests. They will bring food if we ask. But anytime there is cleanup or other help, they are nowhere to be found. I have expressed my dislike of this arrangement to my wife numerous times. She has insisted that I not say anything to her family about it and to let her handle it. However, nothing has ever changed. We hosted Xmas for her family this year, and it sucked. People showed up late, forgot the food they were supposed to bring. No one helped with cleaning. People let their kids make messes, etc. Same old story as every other time. After that, I told my wife I was done. I told her I don't want to host her family until someone else on her family steps up and hosts something, or where we book some other venue and all chip in to pay for it. She promised to talk to her family about it and figure something out for next holiday. And for Easter this year, we were supposed to just have it be our family. No extended family. But a couple weeks ago, my wife met up with her mom and sister for lunch. When she got home, she informed me that she talked to them about how hard hosting Xmas was. She said her mom and sister agreed that they would do better and offered to prove it to us on Easter, and my wife agreed. We got into a huge fight over it. I told my wife that she is on her own for this one. I told her I would be spending the entirety of Easter weekend with my family, and I'll take any kids with me that want to come. But I am not going to be helping with any of the hosting duties whatsoever. She thinks I am overreacting, and that I need to give her family this final chance, because her mom and sister seemed really sincere during their talk. I told her I don't care what they say. I'm not going to be involved at all because I won't be able to hold my tongue this time, and I don't want it to come to that. She is not happy with me at all, but I don't really care. To top it off, all 3 of our kids want to come spend the weekend with me instead of staying home.
Am I the asshole for refusing to share my huge inheritance with my step-siblings? So I am a 17 male, and I found out only a few weeks ago that my dad left me a lot of money in a trust. Like, it's such a crazy amount that I didn't really believe it at first, but it's true. The reason is my dad had inherited from both his parents already. He also inherited from the only 2 uncles he had as well, and one of them was very successful and had a business. This was all explained in a letter my dad wrote to me. He had the trust set up before he came into most of the money, but when he found out his cancer was incurable, he decided to put it all aside for me, once all medical bills were paid off for him. My parents were separated but not legally divorced when my dad was sick, then died. But they weren't living together or a couple for a year. This was 10 years ago. My mom found out about the money because she read the letter he sent to me about the issue. Then she insisted she was joining me to meet with the lawyer to discuss this. When my mom learned about the money, she told her husband, and suddenly the money became a very touchy subject. I can't touch it until I'm 19 with the way my dad set it up. So I have some time to deal with this, but my mom and her husband want me to share the money with my step-siblings 14, 8, and 7. The money is enough where even if I pay for college and buy a house, I would have money left. The way the trust works, I was told, it's also getting interest. which my dad had intentionally set up. My mom and her husband have struggled financially for years. They started dating when his youngest kid was 1. His wife had died. He was going through a legal battle with the mother of his oldest, and his oldest is in therapy for trauma caused by their mom. Also, his youngest was born with some medical issues and has lots of doctor appointments. Between everything, money was tight. We lived paycheck to paycheck, and I worked to make my own life a little more comfortable, but we had no college savings or anything before this. My mom and her husband drained their own bank account to keep a roof over our heads. This has all been brought up to me as a good reason why I should do this. My mom told me it was selfish for Dad to put it all away solely for my future, and he should have been thinking about raising me as well. She told me I might not call her husband Dad or his kids my siblings, but we are a family, and that this family has been through so much together and we have struggled for so long that it would be so good and generous for me to do this. I told her it's not like I can access the money now. She said no, but when I do, I should set up accounts for my 3 step-siblings so they have a better chance at college, and if not college, the chance to have a head start in life. Despite all their trying to talk me into it, I said no. I told them I wasn't going to share the money. My mom was so mad, but it was nothing compared to how mad her husband was. They told me to quit being selfish and start acting with compassion. Am I the asshole?
Will I be the asshole for not inviting my dad's wife to my home because she is afraid of dogs? My dad left my mom for another woman about 20 years ago. He married her about 12 years ago. He has always pushed her on us, and it's frustrating. He can't do anything or go anywhere without her. He won't even talk to us 3 adult kids without being on speakerphone with her in the room. We have all told him we don't like it, but he continues to do it. So none of us have a deep personal relationship with him anymore. This week, I asked my dad, who's very handy, if he would do me a favor and stop by my condo and replace my bathroom faucets for me. I rarely ask him for help, but he's recently retired and said he wants to be more helpful. I said I'd make dinner for him. He says, sure, we will be there around 3 p.m. My dad's wife is terrified of dogs, and I have a one-yo overly friendly pup who is not going to leave her alone. I asked my dad what he would like to do about that situation. He said one of them will have to go. Will I be the asshole to say she shouldn't come, and I will just hire someone to do it? My dog is going to whine and cry if I lock him in a bedroom for a couple hours and I don't have a yard to put him in. It's going to be stressful while also trying to make dinner.